you and engage with you in the future. So we truly appreciate you guys being here today. And with that, I'd like to open up the floor to any questions you guys may have. Kevin has graciously agreed to run.
Most of you guys. One quick question that I was asking a lot of my friends during the time from the tour to now. A lot of them were really big fans, the TNCC era into early legacy. Our 18-inch aluminum extruded passenger cars, are those going to be maintenance? Are those going to be coming back in the near future, or are we just going to be seeing 21-inch passenger cars, for the foreseeable future?
It's a good question, and I'm not going to give you the canned comment on future comment product response, because that wouldn't be fair. But I will defer to something I told one of the tour groups that was leaving when they said, "Oh, I mentioned in Denver, hey, you should do this or that, and now it's here." It was all me, right? And I usually when I get questions like that, I'll say, "Oh, that's a great idea, and we'll see something like that soon." That means one of two things. It means it's already in the pipeline, and you're going to see it really soon, or I am blowing smoke, and you're never going to see it. So what I'm going to tell you is, that's a great idea to bring back 18-inch aluminum passenger cars, and there's a really good chance you might be seeing that real soon. And I'm just going to leave it hanging right there.
Lionel trained since I was 8 years old. And I'm a resident of New York City, and so I watched the car floats and tugboats go back and forth across the Hudson River. And at one time, 6 railroads actually did that. But today it's still operational. 36 cars a day go back and forth across the river, because the closest railroad bridge is 150 miles an hour off the Albany. Now, I was really happy one day when I saw your catalog that had the tugboat and the car float, so I immediately ordered it. However, when it came in, only the tugboat showed up. And I was told that Lionel never made the car float, but no one notified about it. Hopefully someday you'll consider making that car float, putting it in the new catalog as a pre-order, so the people that have the tugboats can get the car floats. Now, if you go to a modular layout, you'll see one of those tugboats. It's beautiful.
Copy of a day in a Lionel that you did on the YouTube thing there. Can we get a copy of that?
We visited the J-Class 611 and its accompanying Powhatan era passenger cars.
Another great question. Another product that is a good idea, and we will get to. In all seriousness, yeah, we definitely have the tooling to do all of those things. The 611 was only reintroduced not too many years ago, so to be totally honest, you probably won't see it right away. But you got I was about to say you got a lot more time than most of the people in this room to look forward to it. But really want to do that. There's a reason that they don't like when I take this microphone.
No more running. Okay, my question is that I met with the service department, Mr. Bond, and he had shown ways not to pack your trains in these boxes. So my suggestion is how about Lionel put together a YouTube so people can click on it to know exactly how they should be packing their trains when they send them back in again.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing you're all familiar with, it's me on a video on YouTube. But actually, that sounds like a good suggestion to make somebody, Mr. Mine, do it. So I will be meeting with him afterwards and asking him to make a video. But yeah, please don't send your boxers and underwear with your train.
I have a question regarding the die-cast GE vision line that you guys came out back with in 2009. Are we going to see any die-cast diesels coming out again?
He has been banned from the bike, so I'll give it a lead. So you're talking about the Gevo, the hybrid that we did. That tooling was converted over to ABS from die-cast, so once you do that, you can't go backwards. But we have done other engines. The more recent ones I can think of were the Centipedes. We have the Genset is another one, and then we also did the Random Turbine. The the issue that we now face with things like die-cast diesels, especially now that we have like Bluetooth tags, those die-cast shells act very much like a Faraday cage and then block the signal. And they don't always have like the handrails and stuff available to steamers do. So that is one issue that we faced. But Ryan and I haven't completely, clued out the possibility of doing another die-cast diesel, and we've discussed it before. And you may or may not see something coming in the future. Thank you. Yeah, but I'm not gonna call him old.
I just wanted to let you guys know up there that you are really, really doing a great job. The tour that I took yesterday was 63 years in the making for me, and I honestly did not know that that would ever happen. On that count, I want to buy a whole mess, but not cars. I want to buy Lionel stock. Howard, how can we do that? I want to do my part to keep Lionel going. I have funds. I want to buy.
Unfortunately, the only stock that you can buy in Lionel is the expired paper stock that's out there on eBay in the collector market. And it is worthless in terms of the stock value. It is, however, collectible. We are privately held by two investment groups. They're equity investors, and they hold they hold funds. One is insurance-based funds, another one is actually, I think they're both really insurance-based funds. But those funds are what is behind us and who we answer to. They're actually my boss. And at this time, that's where it sits. So there is no plan. I will be more straightforward in that answer. There is no plan to take the company public. Public requires an extraordinarily arduous level of reporting, and something that we actually don't want to do. So being private, being held through an equity owner is the way it's going to stay.
I just moved down here from Pennsylvania this past year. I didn't even know the headquarters was here. And the tour that you gave this group was fantastic. My question is, I got family from Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania that come to visit. Is there any chance that you would do a couple times a year tours for the general public that comes in? Probably it wouldn't be as detailed as what you did for us, but is there any chance of something like that happening? Because I know my children, my grandkids, my brother-in-law, they'd all love to take a tour of Lionel trains.
So yeah, that's interesting. We've actually heard that a couple times throughout the course of the week. And I on this one, I'll kind of say never say never. We don't have any sort of etched plans at this point to do that. We have, you're correct in that this tour was specifically designed for LCCA and was the most access that anyone will ever get. I'm not going to open up my office for everybody. I actually didn't even get my day job done. But no, it was a pleasure to have you through it, and we wanted to keep it special for our partnership club. We have brought some other.
My name is John, and from Pennsylvania. The question that I have is, a lot of times I see in the catalog when you talk about tooling, and what does that mean? I don't understand. In other words, I've never seen tooling, so I don't understand what you mean when you say tooling.
Are we talking about tooling for the trains or Ryan? Oh. That's me. Tooling is all steel blocks, giant chunks of steel that we cut. And they're then put together and either injected with molten die plastic. And that's what forms the shape of, the shell or the chassis or the other parts of the engines. And so these giant blocks of steel, which, make very good paperweights, we have to maintain them so that we can continue using them year after year. And they are also very expensive because you have to have a very high quality finish to get the details and the finish required in these highly detailed models.
Yeah, well, first of all, Dave, I'm glad that when you think of something chiseled out of a solid block of steel, my name is the first thing that comes to your mind. I think there's sort of a second part to your question of what does new tooling mean? And for us, new tooling means usually in 99% of the cases that it is something we have not made before, that we have cut a new tool to make that process. Over the last couple of years, as we have acquired some things from MTH, earlier we acquired things from Weaver, that was new to us tooling, but it's still new tooling. And to be honest, even on those acquired tools, it's not like we just take the old tools and slap it in the machine and out comes a Lionel car now. They've all required some modifications, some fairly simple, some very elaborate, to the point where for example, our recent catalog, we put the Russian Decapod out on the MCI1. Those are the former MTH locomotives. What would you say the difference was, Dave, between the rework we did and cutting them from scratch? Maybe about 15% of the savings over all new. So we really rebuilt the whole things to incorporate our electronics, our mechanics, and also any other detail changes or things that we'd like to add in. So a new tooling item in the catalog really means something you haven't seen before, and it also represents a significant investment in capital resources by the company. And it's a good sign that you continue to see that from us regularly. It's a good sign of the health of the business.
And just to add on to that, in the factory, what really comes out, everybody here is probably familiar with model kits. So that's what comes out of the mold. It has the screw, and that's the where all the molten plastic chases around and fill in all the parts and pieces. Then the factories actually break those things away. The sprue becomes regrind. They have to trim them, polish them, depending on if it's steel or plastic. And so that's really, it looks like a model kit, right? That's what comes out of the mold. So I thought that just visual would help you guys. We're starting to lose some folks. So we're gonna wrap this up as a formal stage presentation. We will be here. Feel free to come up, ask us any questions. Reminder, the boxcars, after we get off stage, we're gonna get Tuesday's boxcars in so that you guys can pick those up. Please make sure you stop by registration. We appreciate your attention, time. It's been over 2 hours, and you guys are great audience.